I think travel is important because it brings people together. It gives people unique experiences which allow them to bond in a different way. People would make memories they wouldn't make unless they traveled. They would do unique things together. And I think that is really important. And I think that everybody should travel, regardless of where they want to go. It allows you to get away for a second, to unplug for a second, to go somewhere you've never gone before. And I believe that travel is one of those things that you'll never forget. I remember when Disney's Hollywood Studios opened, and I remember my mom just insisting that we get down there. And it was open at 6 a.m. for guests, and we were up at 4:30 in the morning, these kids being drugged to this theme park. And I remember there was the major attraction at Disney's MGM Studios, now known as Disney's Hollywood Studios, was the Great Movie Ride. But I remember being drugged down Hollywood Boulevard with my mom in that white Minnie Mouse sweatshirt, just saying, "No whining, it is 6 a.m., we're going to the Great Movie Ride." And I was like, this is gonna be my future. This is the joy that I'm gonna experience for the rest of my life. Getting the people who can't stand it up at hours of the morning that are ungodly and dragging them to ride attractions. This is going to be my future.
Folks, Freedom and Week, 6:02 a.m. in the morning. This is not evening. They decided to open up MGM early for those early birds like us that want to hit Star Tours, Mickey Studios. So let's go and have a good time in the morning.
We didn't have a lot of money to travel all different places, but there were two places that we went to. One was Puerto Rico because we have friends and family there and we just love it. It's part of our heritage. And the second place was Walt Disney World. And it was just amazing. I have pictures of going on the Three Caballeros ride, and I have pictures of us in front of the Epcot ball. And I remember thinking, I want to live here. I never want to leave.
I still remember we only went to Disney once or twice as a kid. But I remember that we stayed at the beach club when I was like 5. And so when we stayed there this past summer with our kids, it was pretty cool getting to look back on that.
So we took a lot of road trips. I didn't actually ever get on an airplane until I was in the 8th grade. And then I sort of became obsessed. I had the American Airlines phone number memorized and I would call them and I would plan vacations that we probably were never gonna take until I did. I actually went to Seattle and I flew on this tiny little plane, and I think my love of airplanes and travel started right there.
When I was 12, my aunt took my sister and I, she was 5, to Walt Disney World. And it was the one and only time I went as a child, and I absolutely loved it. We spent 10 days at Fort Wilderness in a pop-up camper, and there was only one park open at that time, Magic Kingdom, and I absolutely loved it and just said, it was just the best vacation.
Now I'm still going that early in the morning to ride another attraction that consistently breaks down, the Rise of the Resistance. But hey, life is cyclical. It just never changes. It's just one generation after the next doing the same thing. And I'm sure that, in 20 years, I'll take my child and we'll be going to another, Walt Disney World theme park, or maybe Disney's Hollywood Studios again, and we'll ride the same attraction at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning again.
Now come on, I said howdy, folks. Hi. Woo, we're feeling alive tonight. Welcome to the one and only original Country Bear Jamboree. Please refrain from any smoking inside the theater, and please hold all flash photography until the grand finale when all 5 curtains open and our bears are out here. Now, those bears have been hibernating all day, so let's clap those hands. Come on, let's stomp those feet, give a big yee-haw!
I actually was a travel agent, and I was a travel agent with an organization in the Midwest. I also worked in the church world. I worked in the nonprofit world. I still do a little bit of that to this day. The problem for me was in the organization that I was in was so archaic. You remember the old brick and mortar travel, agency shops that you would go into to print an airline ticket? We were still living in that world a little bit. And so what I wanted to do was take that old world mentality and take it into the digital age. We started Travelmation in 2012, and it started rolling. It was one of those things where it was just me. There was nobody with me. And I kind of thought to myself, I wonder if anybody will want to do this with me.
I saw on social media this Facebook post, and he's like, let me book your Disney travel. And I reached out to him. I said, and at that time, like my bar was not doing well. I knew I wanted something positive in my life, and that seemed like a really cool thing because I was going to Disney for like the past 30 years, and I'm like, yeah, that would be just really something cool. And I just remember like my first sale, and he kind of laughed because he's like, man, it took me 7 months to get my first sale, and I had one within the first, I think, month or something or whatever it was. I loved it. I loved what I was doing, and it was fun. And I just think that, I was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. This will pass the time for me until I start my next new thing, and maybe my next business or my next job or whatever.
Working in ministry, it's just one of those fields where a side job is always a good thing to have, because if you want to go on vacation, typically you need a little extra income. And so I thought, hey, I remember Adam did that thing where he booked vacations. I wonder if he knows anything about it, how to get involved. And so I reached out, not even knowing that he ran a travel agency. I thought he's just going to give me some tips about how to join an agency. And sure enough, he goes, hey, you need to join Travelmation. So I came on agent number 4 at the time, which is crazy to think about now where we are and just the amazing growth that it's been since then. But at the time, there was just a core group of us that had a dream.
I worked at a local church for about 9 years. And we always had friends and family asking us to go to dinner and talk about Disney and just help them plan their trips. And I had a couple of people reach out and say, hey, you should become, a travel agent, look into that. And I didn't really know what that meant. And so connected some dots online and found Travelmation through Austin and met Adam, and the rest is kind of history.
So Adam and I have been buddies for a long time. And in early 2017, he was actually doing my premarital, I was getting married. And we were talking about a budget system for me and my now husband. And it just kind of came up, finances. I've always been a nerd with spreadsheets, really loved math. And he was like, hey, this company can't really run the books myself anymore. Would you be interested in some part-time gig to come and help me? And it's so funny to think that small question, that small side gig turned into me getting the opportunity to kind of reinvent how Travelmation was running their finances. And a few years later, now we're Adam and I friends running this company with great leadership, great people, it's just been the journey of a lifetime.
One summer, I was planning a family reunion Disney cruise vacation for my family, from grandparents and uncles and aunts, and I was a little overwhelmed. I was like, you know what? I don't want to handle all that information. So I had remembered that Adam owned Travelmation, and so I reached out to Adam, and he planned our Disney cruise for us. And so I started blogging about our trip to Walt Disney World and our Disney cruise combination. And then he reached out to me and said, hey, you look like you know a lot about Disney. Have you ever considered being a Travelmation travel agent? And I was like, no, but that makes sense.
What I love so much about our leadership team, not only our supervisor team, but our VPs, there are 4 VPs as well, is that they are so different from one another. I did that on purpose because I wanted the leadership styles to not all be the same. A lot of organizations get into what I call a yes man mentality, where they just want people around them that will tell them whatever they want to hear. And I didn't want to do that. In fact, I wanted to be the kind of person who would staff our leadership team with people who had all different gifts and all different traits and all different personalities. And I think we've done that. And they are a leadership team that excels at what they do over and over again. And I think our company is reflective of them and what they do.
So before I started in the company, I remember Adam was talking about how Michelle really wanted to have this get together for all of the agents. And you might not know about Adam. He's kind of a grump. Like, he doesn't want to do things until it ends up that it's a really fantastic idea, and now suddenly it's his idea. And so I think the retreat is one of those scenarios where Michelle was like, we've got to do this. And now Adam's like, oh yeah, this is like the best thing we ever did.
Like, we're a real organization now.
It only took 5 years.
Only took 5. Well, you got to remember when we started the retreat, there was no agenda.
No.
It was 9 people going to the parks, doing whatever we wanted.
Winging it.
Got up and we said, where do you guys want to go? So 204 agents. How are we going to remember everybody's name?
I don't know.
That's the question.
I'm so bad with names.
I'm good with names.
I know you are.
And I have, I'm going, because the other thing is we have so many, like, Brittany's and Lindsay's and Kristen's and Christina's, and so I'm like...
The name lanyards help.
The names will be big this year.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be big and on the lanyards, which is good, but...
No, I feel like the over-under on me, I'll have at least 3 to 4 awkward moments of trying to figure it out on the spot, so that'll be good.
My favorite thing is when, like, a supervisor, like, I go up to them and I'm like, hey, help me out, who's that person? And they're like, I have no idea who that person is, and then they end up on their team. Like,
that scenario could happen with me tomorrow.
Oh, totally. They're a double clip this year, so, and we did this so the name tag wouldn't flip around.
It doesn't flip around.
So this is awesome. So, I know they need a little, but that's okay.
Reading glasses, but that's
all right.
okay.
We'll do it next year a little bigger, but that's fine. But see?
I love it.
That's great.
All right, it's the heaviest case here. These are the lights will go out at front of house, front of the room that will light the stage. So these go to the far end of the room. Let's get a few hands on this.
Set piece that covers the back of the stage.
Okay, that was my question.
Okay,
What set piece?
There's a big LED panel.
So I think just having this as close as maybe.
Steve, I gotta tell you something. I may want to see the pipe and drape before I make that call. See how it looks. But I think fine for now.
we can move this.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and have pipe and drape put in, and we'll put this back. So they'll be here in 5 minutes. So I say we just separate this, have them do pipe and drape, and we can
put it wherever we want. Done. Okay. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. So I mean, just right here is fine. We'll have them put pipe and drape on the back. Yeah.
At 6:30 in the morning. It was in August. So at 6:30 in the morning, it's 85 degrees.
All right, let me set up this 20,000. I was just mentioning, I don't need to wear my glasses. So if you don't want me with glasses on stage, I won't. The thing is if I go outside and film that little clip and it's sunny, they turn into what looks like sunglasses.
That's up to you.
But
Whatever you feel most comfortable.
If I come in, they won't look like sunglasses. But
Whatever you feel most comfortable. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. I want you to be able to see and perform to the best of your ability, whatever that looks like.
Couldn't come to me, so I'm coming to you, Eric. Out of my way, pardon me, old person coming through.
Oh, guys, I am so sorry.
No,
Please
Eric,
be careful.
I need a travel agent that is available anytime, anywhere. And, I wanted to know, can I pay for my entire reservation in gift cards?
Gift card? How many gift cards are we talking about?
Well, I have a stack, 10 to 20 maybe.
Oh, goodness. Listen, you know I'm always available to you.
Well, if not, one of these lovely, lovely agents would be happy to help me,
okay,
I'm sure.
Listen, we're not going to go there. She's my client, all right?
Hey, brother. How are you, man? Good. Good to see you. Here we go. Here we go, baby. Let's do it. Yeah, let's get it done. Thank you. Everybody's saying I'm smelling good. I'm feeling fresh.
What do you have on? Yeah.
Hombre nomad.
We can market that, the Travelmation.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's one of those moments where you're kind of blown away because you're watching all these pieces, these moving pieces come together from events and production and planning, and it's very overwhelming, but in a good way. Not like overwhelming like, oh wow, we have so much to do. It's overwhelming to go, wow, it actually came together. Now it's just crossing the little T's, dotting the I's, getting ready for tomorrow. It's pretty good. I'm happy. I love this. This is like the coolest thing we've done. It's like this massive thing that just describes what we do, and the whole world will see it tomorrow. So I'm just very excited. So it's true, the company is growing and my family is growing. I mean, we're shooting this 1 week after we adopted a baby girl. And that was all finalized. And so it's an exciting time for us currently. Not only the company, but the Duckworth family, me, and I feel like I'm excited about what the future is going to hold for both the company and our family, I envision this new arrival to our family allowing the company to grow and thrive even more, because I want to not only do it for me and Caitlin, but now our daughter and all of the agents who also have families. Our responsibility is massive. It's so huge for helping someone trust us with their hard-earned dollars to make sure they have that experience. We've talked about that over the last few months and years at Travelmation, about this idea of memories. It's the idea that you would hold in your hand so much more than just their trip, but the memories that they would make together, which makes our responsibility more important than it's ever been.
These are the moments and these are the spaces in which they're creating memories over time, things that they'll never forget, things that they'll talk about for years to come and tell funny stories on, or cry over because it was just such a beautiful moment. And so for me, I don't take that lightly. That's a huge responsibility, but it's also such a wonderful privilege to be able to curate some amazing and magical and wonderful and memorable experiences for my client.
Absolutely. That is what I'm here for. I want my clients to have the absolute best vacation that is possible. I want all of my clients to feel like VIPs, because they are. It doesn't matter how big the trip is, how little the trip is. I want it to be perfect from start to finish. I want it to be exactly what they dream of, and I want to think of things that they never even thought of. And I want to make it happen for them.
I think the first time that I really felt the sense and the weight of that, I had a client who booked a Disney cruise, and it was their entire family, grandparents, grandkids, everybody went. And the grandfather had just been diagnosed with an early onset of dementia. And so they really wanted to have a last cruise, last vacation memory as a family. And so they went on a Disney cruise together, 7-night sailing. And about 6 months later, unfortunately, the grandfather passed away. But the client did reach out to me and just conveyed that how great it was to have those memories together as a family.
Let me talk through the end. Okay, so the end is heavy, just so everybody knows, guys. You guys are all going to see the run through of it, but at the end of my talk, as we're talking about To the Future, Nolan Madsen, who is one of our agents' children who has childhood cancer, is coming on stage. And we're going to talk with him. He just completed chemo, so we're going to talk with him about To the Future and what that means. We're going to give him a gift. Well, we as the Travelmation family wanted to give you something, if that was okay. Can we do that? Okay, because here's the deal, Nolan. Before we bring it out, you have a future. And we've been talking about the future here tonight, and your future is going to be amazing. It's going to be so bright and so awesome. Your future might not be without challenges, as any of our futures might not be without challenges, but what the Travelmation team wanted to do tonight is we wanted to give you something for you to place in your house so that when you saw it, that you could always remember back to this moment with us tonight, that you have an amazing future and that you can do anything, okay? So we have a gift for you, and I want to bring it out if we could. So can we bring this out? Okay, so this is really cool. Jody, here's... So... how do you feel? Okay, I know. Okay, I'm glad I took the mic. Okay, so when I went to Galaxy's Edge for the first time, okay, I made this exact lightsaber. This is, so I have one and you have one, so we're gonna be like connected, okay, which is really gonna be cool, okay? So like I might come see you, I'm sure your parents will be thrilled, okay? And so, but like this is Luke's lightsaber from episode 6, and I want you to put it somewhere that when you see it and light it up, I want you to remember back to this moment that your future is amazing, that you can do anything, and that we here at Travelmation are so, so proud of you, okay? So go ahead and light it up for everybody here today, okay? Right there's the button, check it out. Push it up, no, up. Woo! How do you feel? Awesome. To the future, my man. Give me a hug. Thanks, brother. Give it up for Nolan, everybody. But I realized a couple of years ago that as great as the good folks at Disney Destinations are, and they will continue to be our #1 partner, they are not everything to our clients. Clients do want to travel other places. Clients want to go to different, unique locations, and clients want the Travelmation travel agents, the Travelmation team to take them there. So we're going to do it. starting this year, rolling out a marketing promotion called Disney and More. And we are rolling out our first preferred partners that we are going to partner with.
So now we're at a point, like this has really gone above and beyond what I've kind of like, we thought if we had 20 agents on our team that we were gonna be just like this huge thing.
I do remember a specific Starbucks meeting that Adam and I had where we just started to dream a little bit. And we said, what would it look like if this thing began to grow? Because we were one of the smaller agencies and we had about 20 agents at the time. And we said, that agency's got 100, they've got 200. What would it look like if we were one of those agencies?
Back at the retreat number 2, we had with the Disney people and we're like, oh, we're gonna be huge. We're gonna be this company, you know, this great, one of your biggest Disney companies. We told everybody that. And I think the reason we are successful is because we believed it.
And we made a plan for 2 years out, and sure enough, here we are now with just shy of 400 agents, and it's been a phenomenal ride. What a story this is, what a dream. But what I've loved along the way is that we've never lost sight of that culture. We've never lost sight of that core group that's for each other, that core team that respects and honors and wants to build up one another. And that's something that's really been special about Adam's leadership, but also just the Travelmation team.
I think Adam said it best when he talked about Travelmation being the most influential travel agency in the Disney destination space. I just know that we have an amazing team and hundreds of amazing agents. And I think if we continue at that pace and just continue to do what we've done to get us here, that we will be that.
Where, oh where is Travelmation going next? I believe that you can take this statement and you can stamp it and you can take it to the bank. Travelmation will be the most influential travel agency in the Disney destination space. 100%. People are going to look to Travelmation. People are going to look at this team and they're going to go, I don't know what those people have. They're way too happy. They're way too joyful. They're so fired up specifically about Disney destinations. I don't know what they have, but I want it.
I think without innovation, you die. And I just believe that Travelmation is doing things that nobody else is doing. Those kinds of things that we're doing because of our innovation, because of the digital presence, because of social media, because of video, because of the right people around the right table at the right time. We are absolutely an innovator in the industry. I see Travelmation going next, not only to the largest and most influential travel agency in the Disney space, because that's going to happen anyway. We are also going to expand outwardly to directions that we never thought possible. This world is filled with places and destinations to travel. We're gonna take people there in a different way than ever before.
Though we are the experts in Disney, honestly, we're experts in so much more. And that's where that Disney and More passion came from, whether it's cruises or all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean. You think of Sandals, maybe Secrets, Dreams, all of these fantastic resorts that we've been to. We've been trained on them. We understand them. And when a family comes to us and maybe they're not looking to go to Disney this year, they went to Disney last year and this year they want to cruise. This year they want to go kick back on a tropical paradise, and we get to say, hey, we can help you. We really know this, and we're not just going to stop at helping you with Disney. We can help you with so much more.
This is a cool moment for our company and for there's a lot of people here, and one of the other things I think is so cool is that there are a lot of folks that look at this organization, whether we like it, dislike it, whether it's good or bad, they look at this as their community and like their family. And you see that as you interact on social media. Some of you aren't a part of this organization other than this moment, don't know that, but this is a big deal. And so this is a big deal for these people to come together and to be a part of this. It's about growing their book of business, but it's also about something that's even more special than that.
The most rewarding part of my job is when a family goes on vacation. They take all the pictures, they post it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the things, and they share with others the wonderful time they're having, and they say, thank you, Rosie. I got a card recently in the mail from a client just saying thank you, and they were sharing, hey, if you ever want to plan a trip to Disney, contact Rosie, she's amazing. So that phrase alone, that sharing, when they share just the magic with others, for me, makes everything so worth it.
The most rewarding part of this job is just to consistently have in front of you that we are helping people create memories and create dreams with their families, and just being able to help guide them on that journey of where they want to go next and create those memories is a pretty big honor. And so just to constantly keep that in front of you and just remember that that's what we're doing at the end of the day is pretty rewarding.
I think as my book of business grows, I want to make sure that everyone still feels like a VIP, that everyone's vacation still has the T's crossed and the I's dotted. I want to make sure that my clients still feel special. I want them to think that their vacation is my most important vacation that I'm planning. The most rewarding part is when someone comes back and said, "That was the best vacation I ever had." I'm like, really? What was the best part? And then they tell me. And sometimes it's a surprising part, and sometimes it's like, yes, I knew you were gonna love that part. So I think that when the guests come back happy, and then when they become my friends, I think that is really so wonderful that these people that maybe I didn't know, I grow to know, and then we develop a relationship that really doesn't end. And it's not all about travel. Again, it goes right back to people.
Work for me in 2020 and beyond is more than just a job. It's more than just dollars. It is about being a part of something that not only you believe in, but that you love doing every single day. I don't think you can put a price tag on it, and I don't think you can underestimate how much that means for years.
I think the future is pretty much limitless. That's what I love about us. We have amazing leaders that are full of innovation, full of strategy, and just a team that's eager to learn and grow. So I think really what's next is whatever we want it to be. And I just hope that Adam continues to provide us clear vision of what we're gonna do next. And I think the future is really bright.
I love when we get it perfectly right. I love getting a message from folks, whether that's on our Facebook presence or our website, or even my personal folks who I still book travel for. They'll contact me and say that was a perfect vacation. We loved every minute of it. I think the thing that's the most satisfying in that is that they're going to leave that experience with the memories that they made together with their friends and family. And I think that's the most important thing, because not only did we get it right from start to finish, but their accommodations were pristine, their trip went off without a hitch, and then they were able to leave that trip with the photos and the memories that they would not have been able to make when they were just sitting at home. That's the most rewarding thing about this. And that's why I believe so strongly in travel, because it's hard for people to do that as they just work and as they interact with people in their own community all the time. It's special and it's unique when they get away together and do it, and they go to a new place or try new foods and all those things that happen. But I think that's the most rewarding thing, is hearing from someone that this went off phenomenally and it was because of you. Shortly after we filmed the documentary Travelmation to the Future and put all those pieces together, COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic, struck not only the United States, but the entire world, and the travel industry basically stopped. It is so interesting to look back on what we filmed and talking about how much we were going to soar and go to the future, and then our industry almost overnight ended up at a standstill. And it's been a rough season. It's been a rough time. It's been an interesting dynamic to try to navigate a company that was going so strong and was moving forward at such a rapid pace, and to have it basically overnight stop. It's been a very interesting time to navigate. In fact, from my seat, as I've not only looked at Travelmation, but the travel industry at large, we've seen travel agencies close their doors. We've seen agents kind of liquidate their book of business, and we've seen people almost throw in the towel and give it up. I mean, who would have ever thought that Walt Disney World would have been closed? All Disney destinations would be closed, that cruise ships would be out of the water for months and months and months, that all resorts across the entire world would basically be shut down. But at Travelmation, we believe in this concept called to the future. So not only did we allow the coronavirus pandemic to allow us to sit back and kind of hit the reset button, we actually believe that because we fought, we scratched, we clawed, we bonded together, we did more training than ever, we got around the table on Zoom virtually more than ever, we locked arms together, And we actually believe that things are not only beginning to open back up, but as we move forward in this, that we will be stronger and better than ever, even better than ever before. You want to talk about to the future? You want to talk about how strong and how bright the future looks? It's never meant more than it does right now.